Hi people, welcome back to my podcast She Talks. So on today's episode, we'll be talking on how to move on from a breakup. It's still your girl Cheddar Chris. So quick question. Have you ever been heartbroken before? I'm really sorry you had to go through such. I know that feeling. That feeling hurts more than a burnt cheddar or even biting one's tongue. And it's funny how time seems to be trekking when you've just gotten your heart broken. You start doubting yourself. Memory starts flashing back to back. And all you wish is just to get back with that one person. To some, losing weight becomes so easy. Some lose their self-confidence. We find ourselves spending minutes, hours, days, weeks, and even months overanalyzing the situation, trying to put the piece together, justifying what could have really happened. Hey, do yourself a favor and move on. Listen, no matter how much you try to revisit the past, there is nothing new there to see. You didn't make any mistake by loving them, and you sure didn't even make any mistake by giving them a chance. They just weren't capable to love as selflessly as you can. Be brave enough to move on, even when it hurts the most. Well, I'm here to give you ways on how to move on from a breakup. 1. You need to understand that there is nothing wrong with you. Majority of us tend to blame ourselves and beat ourselves up for the breakup. I'm sorry you feel that way, but there is nothing wrong with you. The only thing is, it was just not the right match. We need to understand that. 2. Recognize that he or she wasn't meant for you. The moment you recognize that, the earlier for you and the better for you. And to some of us that always say, oh, I need to fight for my man back. Oh no, I need to fight for my woman back. I mean, it is totally okay to fight for who loves you. But one thing I will not agree on is to fight for someone to love you. There are two huge different things. Love is actually worth fighting for, but not if you're the only one fighting. 3, you need to learn to channel your energy into something else. Like, learn a new skill. I mean, we're all born, or we all have one skill we're good at. Something you don't even need to learn, something that is inbuilt. Start it. Hang out with friends. Hang out with people. I mean, it is not the end of the world for you. You need to go out there and have fun. To some of us looking for closure, well, closure happens right after you accept that letting go and moving on is way more important to you than projecting a fantasy of how the relationship could have been. And I never said it is easy. In fact, I'm actually a fan of crying. So, cry it out if you want to. It is fine if you want to let it out. Don't block it out. But darling, you need to pick yourself up, shake it off and move on. Just sit and let it rip you apart. And then get up and keep breathing. One breath at a time. One day at a time. Cry for a while if you want, and then stop crying and go about your day. I know you are not okay. I mean, I know that feeling. You're not okay, but you are alive, and guess what? You'll be okay someday. One thing is certain. No matter what happens, no matter how things end, the people you let go will always teach you that it is okay to lose someone you once loved, and that things actually get better with time. Let me share my experience. So I was involved with a guy. To me, he seemed like Mr. Right. You know what I mean, right? I was ready for the good, I was ready for the bad. But one thing I sure wasn't ready for was for the worst, which was the breakup. I mean, everything was okay at my own end. But one day, baby boy called and asked for a breakup. I mean, out of the blues. I wasn't ready for it. No signs, nothing. You can imagine the situation I was in. It took me few months for me to get myself back up. But here I am, still breathing and still being a baby girl. I'll leave you with this. Never let a man or woman waste your time. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Cheddar_Chris and on Twitter at Chris. Good night.